Sanjeev, I think we need to discuss your performance.
Performance? May I ask, in what sense of the word?
Sales performance.
What about it?
It's garbage.
Yes, I agree. Most definitely I agree.
Why aren't you selling? Haven't you read that book I gave you? Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale.
Well, quite frankly, I have not read it. Why? Because I am reading currently very fascinating book, fantastic book, mind-blasting book. Name, The Meaning of Meaning.
The meaning of meaning? What the hell does that mean? You know what? Never mind. But the point is, you have the worst sales performance in the history of the company as far as I can remember.
Ah yes, memory. This is a very big philosophical problem. See, how can we ever trust that memory is ever reliable? Maybe memory is always deceiving. Always.
Always deceiving? Oh, what a bunch of garbage.
Okay, can you give me one counter-example that proves that memory is even sometimes reliable?
Well, of course I can. For example, this morning, when I left the apartment, I remembered where I parked my car last night. I went to that spot and I found my car in that spot.
Ah yes, but you see, this episode that you just gave, itself it relies on the memory. So basically, you are relying on your memory to prove that you can rely on your memory, which is illogical, which is called circular reasoning, also called begging the question.
The only person who's gonna be begging is you after I fire you. Now why aren't you selling? You have the best product. Those babies sell themselves. Why can't you sell? You're working with the best product.
Best product? Well, epistemologically speaking, we don't know if our product is in fact the best. This is an empirical claim that needs to be verified by systematically comparing every single product on the market according to predefined criteria.
Sanjeev, let's cut the crap, alright? You have two options. You can either get your act together and start selling, or stay the way you are and get fired. It's your choice.
Sir, it seems you are assuming that we have choice. You are assuming that we are free agents capable of making free choice. In short, you are assuming that humans have what we call free will. You are making a humongous assumption. Very humongous. See, there are three main positions in the free will debate. Number 1, libertarianism. Number 2, determinism. Number 3, compatibilism. After careful philosophical analysis, I have concluded that our behavior is determined and we are really not free in any important or meaningful sense of the word. See, we are physical beings and the law of the physics govern our behavior. Every action we take depends on a previous event and the laws of nature, both of which are not within the realm of our choice, hence we are determined.
So basically, you're telling me that you're a robot?
Yes, isn't that cool?
No, it's not. Well, you know what? Maybe I have no choice but to fire you.
But why?
Because your sales are virtually zero. We are trying to run a business here. All we care about at the end of the day is the bottom line. When sales targets are not met, I must immediately take corrective action.
But that just sounds like very, how do you say, practical.
Yes, Sanjeev, it's very simple. Sales is good. No sales is bad. You do the math.
Oh, sir, you make a very interesting point. See, this whole business of good and bad, maybe it is just an illusion. It's just a tricky normative concept. For example, once my grandmother's car broke down on the way to the airport. So, she missed her flight. She was very upset. She thought, oh, that's very bad incident. Very bad. But later, she was watching the news and she heard that the plane actually crashed and everyone on the plane had died. So she realized that missing the deadly plane was not bad but actually good, and she was so happy and she made celebration. And then of course she got hit by a bus. But the point that I want to make is that as Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher with the most unelegant moustaches, he say we should look beyond good and evil. These are just socially constructed terms. No good, no bad.
Oh, come on!
Sir, that is your problem. You do not doubt. You just take things for granted. You should start by doubting all these basic concepts that you take for granted. For example, René Descartes, the father of modern philosophy, he systematically doubted everything. Even the fact that he has a physical body, because he might be right. For example, you might simply be a brain in a vat.
Wet? What the hell is a wet?
Wet. W-A-T. Wet. Like a container. So basically, you might just be a brain floating in a solution in this container, and there's a very mad scientist manipulating the inputs into your brain in such a way that you perceive a world, an environment. But you are simply perceiving electrical impulses fed into your brain, and there is no such real world around you. Like that movie, The Matrix. This very mad scientist. Very, very mad. Don't you worry about such things sometimes, sir? Maybe you are in this wet.
You know what I worry about? The sales.
Then of course there is the famous problem of other minds, which basically says that I can never be sure of other people having minds. I know that I have a mind because I have direct access to it and I am conscious of it. But I do not know if, for example, you have a mind.
Are you saying I'm stupid?
A million apologies, sir. I meant no such thing. You clearly exhibit some form of intelligent behavior, but still I cannot ascertain that you have a mind. See, you are simply confusing the epistemological and the ontological.
Epistemo what?
Sir, all I am trying to say is that knowledge is maybe unattainable. See, even the great Socrates, he said, I am the wisest man. Why? Because I know that I do not know.
So after all this philosophical garbage, you're telling me that the only thing you know is that you do not know?
Even that I don't know.
Sanjeev, is that what you do in your free time? You think about this garbage?
Well, I do that mostly at the office, but also at home. I am working on my theory of single bundle, double bundle theory of metaphysics. But in my free time, I also like to play the guitar with my brother Patel in our band, which we called If AC Then DC. See, my brother, he also studying moral philosophy and ethics. Maybe when he graduate, you can hire him for the company to help you with your ethical decision. Hello.
Wait, there's two of you? Oh my god! Why did you guys go into philosophy? I thought you guys were supposed to go into IT.
There are 5 major theory of ethics. Number 1, divine command theory. Number 2, utilitarianism. Number 3, social contract theory. Number 4, ethical egoism.